Hi, this is Dr. Kimberley Linert, and you're listening to Incredible Life Creator Podcast. I have two guests today, Dr. Tom Negelow and Dr. Shelley Negelow, and we have been on together before in the past, and tonight we're going to do another channeling with Kuthumi. And so since channeling is very new to many people, I'd like for Tom to actually explain what we're doing. So go ahead, Tom.
Thanks, Jim, for having me on again. Really, channeling is a very simple process of using universal energy in a different way. As human beings use universal energy to take, let's say, a particular frequency of the energy that's out there. Let's say energies between my two hands. We take a particular frequency or a piece of that energy, if you will, and we do our human thing, have our personalities and thinking and all of that. What I do as a channel is I let go of that part of the energy that constitutes my personality, and I allow it to come through a different frequency, a different part of that. And as it moves through my body, then I speak from that energy, just like I'm speaking from the energy that I am in my day-to-day world. So that's what channeling is. Most people have had some sort of experience with that. Sometimes you may have thought about something or known something was going to happen when logically you shouldn't have. That's also a use of different energy than we're used to. The personality that I'm going to channel is the Ascended Master Kuthumi. Kuthumi is the combined energy of the Shah Jahan. It's the Indian leader that built the Taj Mahal, Pythagoras, and St. Francis of Assisi. As I channel Kuthumi, it comes through me as with the personality of the Shah. So what channeling is about is supporting people in having perhaps a different point of view of when they came into the channeling. Not only is channeling a thinking process, and you ask questions and you hear things and you process it. Also, very importantly, channeling is an energetic experience as well. So if you listen to this, or when you listen to it a number of times, because not only is it getting in logically and you're understanding things perhaps in a different way than you did, or seeing things that you didn't see before, or maybe reminding you of things that you've kind of known before but really couldn't use. Listen to it a number of times, get those things, but also start to experience the change in the energy as well, because obviously channeling is an energetic process. So that's really it. It's a lot less complex and a lot less mysterious than a lot of people think. The difference between what I do and what people do randomly is I choose to do it. I am at what I call a choice channel. I go into a deep meditative trance. I have no experience of what's being said or the questions that are asked. For me, everything goes to black, and then sometime later I come back into my body. And that's pretty much it on channeling. Anything, Shelley, that you want to add to that?
Well, one of the things that I like to use channeling for, and what I encourage other people to do, is to see how you can use channeling to support you in healing, in creating whatever it is you want to create in your life, and to expand, move forward with, being in the world, supporting others, and letting go of whatever stops you or holds you back. I personally use channeling for my healing. I had a very difficult childhood, and so I've used the energy of Kuthumi in particular to support me in healing out issues that I've been holding on to for many years. And I've asked Kuthumi for all kinds of support when I've been creating programs of various kinds, and so has Tom. So you can use it very effectively to get incredible results. And we will be having channelings where some of you who want to join us will want to ask questions, and we'll be having those in the very, very near future. We're going to start in the fall with events.
Very good. I've been channeling for over 30 years, and I started channeling out of the healing work that I was doing and still am spontaneously. I didn't learn this anywhere. I didn't read a book. It just came to me one day, and what both Shelley and I said is either it'll have value, and this is the important thing, either it will have value for people and I'll keep doing it, and if it doesn't or stops for some reason, then I won't. Because really all we're interested in is supporting folks in, like Shelley said, moving their lives forward, having what they want in their lives, creating a life that for them has significance and importance. So that's what it's for, and so I suggest you use it that way. Okay, I guess I'll just go into the channeling now. Kuthumi will speak about whatever he does. We don't know what it's going to be. And then these lovely ladies behind me will ask whatever questions they have. So I will see you later. My face will change some, and you'll hear Kuthumi's voice, and we'll go forward.
It is a mini channeling today.
Oh, good, thank you. It's what we call a mini channeling, so it's going to be a short period of time. Normally, if I channel for an individual or a group, it can be as much as an hour or an hour and a half or even 2 hours. I've channeled for as long as 3 hours before. It doesn't make any difference for me what the time is because I just go out and come back. So, okay, I'll see you guys later. Well now, good day to you, my dears.
Hello, Kuthumi.
How are you on such a fine day that this is?
Very well.
Very good. And so let us speak for a bit about the difference between being caught in things and how to, if you will, set them aside. Because for the most part, most people think, well, I can go into this and change it. Sometimes they want to be violent with the change, and sometimes they want to be peaceful, you see? But the illusion is that you are changing something. And we say it is an illusion because what happens when you change something? What is your frame of reference in changing, you see? Well, you only have one frame of reference, and that is your past. You look into how it has been, what you have done, what you have thought. You look into what your experience has been and what you think you can do about it, you see. You are going to do one of two things with the past. You are going to try to avoid it because you did not like it, or you are going to try to recreate it because you thought you did like it, you see. But even if you liked it, no matter, it is still the past. You will have the same outcome in the future when you are trying to change things from the past, you see. You will have the same outcome if you do not like it, if you are trying to change things from the past. That is, in your illusion, the only reference that you have, you see. So, when you create, what are you creating? If you are not creating In the unknown, you are creating from the past, and you know how that has turned out, you see, because you already have it. And then you try and change it from the only way you can is thinking about how to make it different, you see. But what difference can you make if the difference is also coming from the past, you see? You can only look at what you have done. So, what is the answer to get out of this? Very simple. Well, simple, but not easy, you see. The answer to creating is first responsibility. First, you must be ultimately and interimly responsible for everything in your life. Every moment of your life is your responsibility. Now, do not confuse responsibility with blame. You see, the fault of the world is not yours. It is, however, you hold it as your responsibility, you see. Certainly easier to see that how you react to the past, how you react to things about you, is certainly your responsibility. So that is the first step. Can you accept the responsibility for everything about you, even if it is only conceptual at first? If you can, then you can begin to go forward in changing in your world. Not only changing the self, but also changing in what is about you, you see. First of all, you have to look into the self and realize that the things you have taught about yourself, not the ideas and notions, but the true vibration of who you are, is mostly created in an illusionary form, you see. Because you look at yourself again from what you have done and where you have been and what you have learned and who you have had relationships with and all of this. But this is only the ephemeral of you, the outside. Because the inside vibration of who you are, you see, is the natural vibration of the universe. It is truly the experience of unconditional love, not the idea, not the illusion or the formulation of unconditional love as you express it perhaps, but the true vibration of universal energy that can be called unconditional love as experience in the body, you see. And so, let us move on from here. So once you realize, experience, and have and hold in yourself your true nature, then again you can go forward in being responsible. Then what is next? What is next is knowing that you are in a place now where you don't know. You see, not knowing is a beautiful place to be. But most people do not like it because it has confusion and doubt and not understanding and what's happening. And human beings generally do not like this. This is most understood, you see. But not knowing is a place of peace, a place that can be brought to quiet within your body, you see. And having this as your place of being, this quietness, this harmony, there's harmony in not knowing, you see. And when you sit in not knowing, then you can look about and say, well, since I do not know, what is next? What is next is trying to do something, you see. Do something that brings you forward to what it is you want to create. So in not knowing, you have to look and say, what do I want to have? And if you immediately come up with answers, these are probably not them. Sit for a while in the not knowing. feel it in the body. What are you passionate about? What do you want to have and do in your life? That is a service to you and a service to others, you see. There's nothing altruistic. There is always a service to you because you are the energy. Without that, nothing can go forward. It is a lie. And so in this vibration, then, you look and see what is the passion that brings me into the world. True passion that is vibrational in the body. What is this? And then in time, this will come to you. And now what to do? Well, now that you have an experience of passion, what is the first step to take? What is the first thing in the three-dimensional world to do that will bring you forward to what it is you are creating? And then take this step. And then you take the step and say, is this harmonious with the vibration of who I am and what I wish to create? And then it may or it may not be. If it is, good. If it is not, good. Because both of these things mean you are moving energy. There is no right or wrong. There is no good or bad. There is no success and failure. What is truly going on with the human being is there are things that you like that make you happy and joyful. And there are things that do not make you happy and joyful. That is all there is. So you do not have to use your judgments when something is not working. You simply say, oh, not working. What else can I do? Will this work? And will this work? And will this work? Some will, some will not, you see. And as you discern these things as harmonious with the vibration of who you are, now you can continue to create in not knowing how it is going to turn out, rather than creating on the path of who you are, not creating for the path to lead you somewhere. The journey in life is not to get to a place. The journey in life is the journey, you see. Because wherever you go, someone has said, there you are. A common expression, is it not? What does this mean? This means you bring the vibration of self, of who you are, of the unconditional love you are, into what it is you experience and what it is you wish to do. And because of this, when you come to the true expression of self, you are free. You are done. There is nothing more to look for, nothing more to get. You already got the vibration of self, you see. And so then what? Then what is to bring it into the world as spectacularly as you can in the human way. Very good. And so, please, questions at this time.
So, Kuthumi, before you came, we were talking about how right now in our history there's a kind of some difficult things happening, and there's some people who are actually thriving during this difficult time, and there are people who are, like I say, diving. In other words, they are just hitting rock bottom. So when we come into a time in our life when things seem difficult, how can we thrive rather than dive?
Yes, very good. Well, what constitutes thriving? Thriving means having joy and express love and pleasure in your life in some manner. Success in business can bring this. Success in relationship can bring this, you see. So you asked how to become this in the thriving, as you say. Very simply, look at the people who are thriving. How are they thriving? They are thriving because they have found something passionate to express, you see. Something passionate to bring into the world that grows this vibration of unconditional love. And the people who are hiding, they're hiding because they do not have a strong experience of self, or you can say even a confidence of self, in order to come into the world. Now, what constitutes confidence? Confidence is trying things over and over until you are successful, until it is bringing joy to you, you see. That is what builds confidence. Confidence is not a mental practice. It is an action taking and being successful, however you determine this from yourself, over and over again, and then you get confidence. Oh, I can do this. Again, even if I don't know, you can say to yourself, I don't, how's it going to turn out? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. You see, that is a passion. So moving in this way, asking yourself each time you hit a stumbling block, you can call it, ask yourself, what am I building with this block?
So what if people have an emotional reaction to whatever's going on with themselves, with the people in their lives, their personal relationships, maybe issues in the business or their cash flow? What would you suggest to them besides focusing on the passion and taking appropriate action? What would be good to have them release whatever may be holding them back and perhaps even being fearful of taking the steps?
Yes, well, first of all, when you are having an emotion, first realize that is good, that is normal. That is the human expression of the body in the world. Emotions mean that you are experiencing something. This is good. Now, let us say you are having what most people call a negative emotion, anger or fear or sadness, whatever. These are not really negative emotions. They are merely an expression of energy that is within the body. But let us talk about them as negative. That is fine. So that is energy to be used. How are you going to use it? To express yourself in the world in a way that not only makes change, but makes positive change, makes good change, helps people to experience themselves and their connection with their energy, you see? So using the emotion. Now, if you get sad, you may cry, that is fine. If you get angry, you may wish to go out and hit a rock with a bat or something. That is fine to express it this way. But know that how you express the emotion is going to be what supports you in bringing it forward, you see. If you have an emotion and you are blaming somebody else for it, guess what? You are not doing the correct thing. You see, when you look at somebody else as the reason for your conflict, you are looking in the wrong place. Nobody makes you do anything, you see. Nobody forces you to be happy or sad. It is your own choosing to do this, you see. Now, this may be difficult for some to accept or even understand, you see. But when you get to being responsible for who you are, and emotions are part of who you are, then you can take the next step in learning to use it, not knowing how again, but stepping into the world and seeing what is about you.
Would you talk some more about responsibility and what that actually is so people, it's easy to say, but some people really don't understand it in the way I think that you're speaking of.
Yes, well, ultimately you are responsible for everything. Now, this is a very difficult concept and vibration to understand and get. It comes in time, but initially, be responsible for your reaction to things. Be responsible for your judgment about things. You see, some people talk about enlightenment. Enlightenment in our view is the speed at which it takes you to let go of your judgment and go on with your life. You see, the faster you do this, the more enlightened you become. And so, responsibility in its ultimate expression is you are responsible for everything in the universe. After all, this is where you have come from. Internally, responsibility means looking and seeing how it is to use all the expressions of the human experience that you are. And so one more question, please. Oh, good, we've explained everything.
I actually was going to ask you to speak a little bit about the apparent conflict that we're having, particularly in our society, having to do with our races and, you know, differences with who we are. What is really going on?
Well, what's really going on is the irresponsibility of each other to each other.
Yeah.
You see, that is what is really going on. There is less conflict in races than there is, let us say, in the illusion that someone is doing something to you, that you are being forced to be in a certain way, that some other way that you think people should be is the right way, rather than finding harmony in all ways, you see. People who trust their opinions upon you do not wish to experience this harmony out of their anger or some misguided illusion, you see. And so it comes to peace when each individual experiences harmony within themselves and accept the other as themselves as one.
That's wonderful to me. That's very precious. Thank you so much.
Very good.
Thank you.
And so, my dears, until the next of our calming, peace to you in this time. Hi. So I'm back.
Brilliant.
Good. Good. Yeah, people often ask me if I remember what's going on, and of course I don't. But what is I think is interesting is when Shelley and I or other people are talking about some things, I will have this great idea, this great insight about something, and Shelley will tell me, well, you know, you need to listen to the challenge because Kuthumi said that 3 weeks ago. So at some level, I'm getting it, I guess, but certainly not consciously. So what else? Anything else?
Well, yeah, I think you should let people know if they wanted to maybe have their own channeling, how would they do that?
They can do that. They can get a hold of, they can call directly to our number at 678-828-9145. You can email Shelley at Shelley, Shelley, Negelow, Negelow, at gmail.com. And the website, Shelley, what?
The new website that'll be coming up within the week is Academy for Conscious Living. And it will showcase everything that we provide for people.
And we also have the Voice of Unconditional Love. Tell them about that.
That is the Voice of Unconditional Love, a Facebook group that you can join. And we're posting channelings every week or every other week with Dr. Tom and Kuthumi, the Ascended Master Kuthumi. So we'd love to have you join us. Just click on join and you will be approved.
Great.
Yeah.
So that's how you can get a hold of us. If you want to do an individual channeling, we do that by phone or in person if you wish. I guess we can even do it by internet, which I don't know anything about.
a Zoom call.
A Zoom call,
But
okay.
the other thing is that if people want to put a group together, you also can do it that way, even virtually.
Yeah. So,
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Shelley and Dr. Tom.
thank you, dear.
Dr. Shelley and Tom Negelow is their last name. So thank you so much. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Dr.
It was our
Kuthumi.
pleasure. Thank you, dear.